But I asked, do you feel that you contribute more than you take? And that was quite fun, watching the expressions on their faces. There was a sort of, not a shuffling of feet and looking away at that point. It was rather fun. So I certainly enjoy the art of helping people think. In fact, one of the ways that I would define what we call developmental coaching and developmental mentoring together, I define them in terms of helping somebody with the quality of their thinking about issues that are important to them. It's rather like the same sort of questions that I've been asking this is the only other I'm going to do. I've got a couple of books here that came out this year. But this one is all about talent management and succession planning in organisations. And the research question here was, if all this stuff that we do, talent management, succession planning, all these 9-box grids and things like that, if they actually work, how come the wrong people so often get to the top? And how come the diversity at the bottom of the organisation, in spite of all these billions of pounds, trying to work out exactly the right way to say this, the goals should be challenging, they should be specific, and then you should be committed to them, and you should get feedback from them. So there are those 4 aspects. If a goal is specific, if it's challenging and stretching, and if you're committed to it, and if you get positive feedback, then you're more likely, then you will get better results, you get higher performance than in other circumstances. That's something called Stephen Gross. And it explains how highly goal-oriented individuals get almost to the point of success and then sabotage themselves. I mean, it's well-known psychological phenomenon. And we find actually, for many coaches, this is something when they feel that they've done something desperately wrong because they colluded with the client to get to this point, and the client gets there, and the client suddenly stops, put his head in his hands and says, "It's no good, no good. My real issue is I don't have a sense of purpose in my life anymore." And the coach says, "Oh, I do empathise. Yeah. If only we had time to deal with that, but let's get back to the subject." Okay, well, what I'm about to say is not based on evidence, it's just a speculation, okay, because we don't have the evidence for it. But my perception is that many coaches are not capable of getting there because they don't have the capacity for self-reflection that comes with partly who you are, it's partly the way that you think. So, but those that do, it does take time, and it's about who you associate with, and who you see as your peers, who you have conversations with, how you stretch yourself and develop yourself.
But isn't that how many counsellors or people working in psychiatry and mental health have transformed?
One of the exercises I do when I've been training coaches is I tell them that they can only speak 3 or 4 times in an hour. Now they will break it, of course, but what happens is that they find the quality of the statements or the questions that they ask is significantly improved.
And have you matched that with the research into the views of the coachees in that situation?
We haven't, no. I mean, the only way we've been able to do that is in the assessment centres, we get the feedback from the coachees. And interesting, the evaluation of the coachee and the coach and the observers is very highly correlated. And those coaches who we receive, the models-based coaches tend to think themselves much better than they are. Whereas the systemic eclectics are much more critical of themselves, but actually there's a balancing effect there. They're much more aware. And so we find the quality of observation, self-observation.
Well, thank you very much. So a donation will be being sent to that. And I think that most of you will have picked up a programme on your way in of future events that we're going